Welcome back to the channel. This is Trinity Storm and you are watching 4th part of What If Naruto Mastered a Legendary Jutsu in Secret. If you enjoy this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Now wasting no more time, let's start the story.
7 squads were assembled in a room with a balcony running the length of it and 2 large hands forming the ram hand sign. All of the squad's Chunin senseis, as well as the Hokage, were standing on a small elevated platform in front of them. The third Hokage began explaining why and how the Genin Exams came to be. How they can be used to avoid war between allied nations. Before the third and final test could be explained, Hayate Gecko appeared and asked to speak in his place. After being granted permission, Hayate turned and informed all of the Genin that a preliminary round would be held. Hayate asked if anyone wanted to quit now before starting the preliminary rounds. Only one person made the decision to resign. Kabuto Yukushi resigned, claiming that he was too exhausted and injured to continue. 6 matches have already been played, and the participants for the 7th will be chosen soon. Sasuke faced Kabuto's teammate, Yoroi Akato, in the first match. Despite having his chakra sapped, Sasuke triumphed with his Lion's Barrage. Because Sasuke's curse mark was sealed on the 3rd day of the 2nd test, he was allowed to observe the rest of the exams. And after the 5-pronged seal was removed from Naruto, his chakra returned to normal. The 2nd match pitted Shino Aburame against the sound ninja Zaku Abumi. Shino dispatched him quickly by inserting his insects into Zaku's wind tunnels. As a result, Zaku blew his arms off. Kankuro of the Sand faced Masumi Tsurugi, another of Kabuto's teammates, in the 3rd match. Masumi appeared to have the upper hand, wrapping himself around Kankuro. Unfortunately, Kankuro was hidden beneath the massive wrap. Kankuro had his puppet imitate Masumi's attack by wrapping itself around her. Masumi gave up because he didn't want all of his bones broken. Sakura vs. Ino, 4th match. The game ended in a tie, so neither team advanced to the finals. Tenten vs. Temari of the Sand, match 5. They were both long-range fighters. Tenten specialized in weapons, but none of her attacks could penetrate Temari's wind-style jutsu. Tenten was further harmed by Temari's presence. Temari, who had already won the match, had Tenten land on top of her giant fan with his back to her. The preliminaries continued after Temari and Gaara hurled insults at Lee and his sensei, as well as Guy's warning about Lee's abilities. Shikamaru vs. Sound Kinsuchi in the 6th match. Shikamaru connects his shadow to Kin's despite being under Kin's bell genjutsu. Kin's genjutsu is released as a result of Shikamaru's shadow possession jutsu. Shikamaru then ordered Kin to suffocate herself by hitting her head against the wall behind her. Everyone focused their attention on the screen as it scrolled through the names of the remaining participants. Kiba Inuzuka vs. Naruto Uzumaki. Alright, now it's my turn. Naruto screamed. Wahoo! Looks like we hit the jackpot, Akamaru. Kiba yelled, certain that this would be a simple victory. And now is my chance to prove to Hinata that I'm better than that loser. Kiba was down on the floor, facing his teammates and Naruto in the opposite direction. Naruto decided to taunt Kiba because he was excited to be able to show what he was made of. Hey, this is going to be simple. Kiba, you might as well give up now. When Kiba replied, a vein bulged on his brow. That's exactly what I was going to say, albeit not so nicely. Hearing such a pathetic response made some of the onlookers sweat drop. Kiba has this one. Sorry, Kakashi, but Naruto has no chance. Kurenai expressed complete trust in Kiba. I'm sorry, Hinata, but everything I said was true. You're wrong, Kurenai-sensei. Naruto has won this. But will he use that jutsu? Hinata pondered. To keep their relationship a secret, she decided not to cheer. It's nice to have faith in your student, but I'm afraid you're mistaken. Naruto will not be taken lightly, if at all. Kakashi said, knowing he was correct. Will Naruto, however, use that jutsu in front of everyone? You seem pretty certain of it, Kakashi. Are you certain Naruto can back up your claim, my adversary? Guy inquired. Like everyone else, he was curious as to why he was so sure of Naruto. Without a doubt. Just keep an eye on yourself. Kakashi responded. With that, everyone returned their gaze to the combatants. Cough cough asterisk, ready? Hayate inquired. He started the match after receiving nods. Begin. Kiba charged in on his own, having previously stated that he'd only need one blow to finish things off. Despite the fact that Naruto could see the attack coming, he took the blow anyway to test Kiba's strength. Ha! I told you I'd finish this in one blow. Kiba burst out laughing. Hee hee. Hee 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 ha 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 ha. Kiba, you call that an attack? Man, you're a wimp. Naruto laughed and stood up as if nothing had happened. Remember, Naruto had a couple days off. And he doesn't have that damn seal on him because Sakura told Kakashi what happened when Naruto collapsed. Twerp, what did you say? Come on, Akamaru. Kiba yelled, and was met with a asterisk bark in response. Kiba threw a smoke bomb once Naruto was standing up to keep Naruto from seeing any incoming attacks. Naruto ran outside after deciding to leave the smoke. Only to be thrown back into the smoke by Akamaru, who let out a loud bark. When the smoke cleared, Akamaru could be seen standing next to an unconscious Naruto. You're a good boy, Akamaru. Please come here. Akamaru ran towards Kiba as instructed. Akamaru bit Kiba instead of jumping and licking him. Hee hee hee, surprise. Poof, Kiba's arm was clenched between his teeth, so Naruto's voice was muffled. He's an intriguing character. It's not every day that someone bites their opponent. Neji expressed his interest in what he saw. Of all the things he could have done, bite him like a dog? That moron. Sakura stated. I'm not kidding. Sasuke commented, adding his 2 cents. You have to be kidding me. The rest of the participants, as well as the Chunin senseis, agreed. Naruto let go of Kiba and returned the favor by jumping back and throwing kunai with a smoke bomb at Kiba's feet. Poof poof, another smoke bomb exploded near Naruto's shadow clone. Kiba exited the other side while the Naruto closest to him was performing a mid-air backflip. The only difference is that he slammed Med into the wall behind him. Before Naruto even touched down, his head struck him hard enough to knock him unconscious. When the smoke cleared, all that remained was an unconscious Kiba, Naruto, and his shadow clone standing over Akamaru's front legs. Hayate approached Kiba to see if he could continue. He's not conscious. Naruto Uzumaki is the victor. Yahoo! I told you I would win. Alright. Naruto yelled, overjoyed with his victory. Thank goodness I put that seal on him when I bit him. Ha ha. Only a few people on the balcony were aware of what had occurred. I should have known he'd hide that jutsu in such a way. In Wave, he did the same thing. I have to say, hiding such a flashy jutsu in front of so many people is quite a feat. Haha. Kakashi reflected. How did he do that? Wait a minute. You know how he did it, Kakashi. Don't you think so? Kurenai inquired. Yes. But just because I know something doesn't mean I'm going to tell you. Naruto decides who he tells and who he doesn't. Kakashi responded. Is this the secret Naruto revealed to Hinata? She noticed Hinata looking down with a smile as she approached her. Kurenai took that as a yes, and she decided to discuss it with her later. There's no way Naruto knows something that could easily take someone out like that. But he took action. What exactly was it? And where did he get something like that? Whatever it is potent. And I don't want to go up against him if he has such a powerful weapon. Shikamaru pondered. On the other balcony, the sand team was nervous about facing Naruto. Gaara seemed more excited than worried, or at least Temari and Kankuro did. How could someone have done something like that? That can't be possible, can it? Temari stated. I have no idea. And if I do find out, I don't want to find out the hard way. Kankuro responded. Naruto had returned to the balcony and taken his place among his teammates. Well done, Naruto. Sakura stated. Thank you, Sakura. If you want. Naruto said this to conceal his true relationship with Hinata. No. Sakura yelled, dismissing Naruto once more. Not shabby, loser. I could have done it better. Sasuke stated. Stop talking, Sasuke. The electronic board began randomly selecting the remaining names, drawing everyone's attention. Hinata vs. Neji Hyuga. Hinata had been severely beaten and bruised. She had blood dripping from her mouth and was clutching her torso, which had been damaged. Neji had played mind games with her in order to force her to forfeit the match. But Naruto's outburst inspired Hinata to fight. She gave it her all, but she couldn't even touch him. Hinata continued to fight even then. She even stated that her ninja way is to never break my word. Naruto and the others are impressed. Hinata was currently on the ground. Can you see now? Continuing to fight is pointless. You're not going to win. Neji mocked, knowing Hinata wouldn't get up. Hinata is unable to proceed. Hayate started. Do not end this match. Naruto yelled. She's unconscious, Naruto. Do you not see that? Sakura stated. Oh, look at that. Naruto responded. Everyone took a look and couldn't believe what they saw. Neji is among them. Hinata was struggling to stay on her feet. She appeared to be clutching a kunai with a smoke bomb in her hand for some reason that only Naruto understood. Flashback. It was the morning of the second test. Naruto and Hinata were by themselves in the Forest of Death. Hello, Hinata. How are you doing, Naruto? Good. How about you? I'm really nervous about this test. Really? Take this instead. Naruto presented her with a kunai containing a smoke bomb. The kunai bears a seal that allows me to use my secret jutsu. When the kunai takes flight, the seal will notify me. So I'll be able to assist you whenever you require it. Thank you very much, Naruto. Hinata accepted the kuni and then gave Naruto a healing ointment before leaving. Flashback finish. Why do you keep fighting? The burden of being the heiress has been thrust upon you from the moment you were born. You've always despised yourself for your flaws, but people don't change. That is fate. Neji stated. That is not correct. I can see that it's not just me who is in pain, but also you. You're the one who's even more perplexed about the fate of the Hyuga clan's main and side branches. Neji charged at Hinata, enraged. Hinata let go of the kunai. Poof poof, 2 smoke bombs detonated. One from Hinata's kunai, the other from Naruto's balcony. Neji didn't mind the smoke because he could see through it anyway. But what he didn't see was the foot that appeared from within the smoke and smacked him in the face at the last second. Neji flew in the opposite direction he came from, landed on his back, and continued rolling for a few more feet. Hayate and the Leaf Junin senseis, minus Asuma, attempted to thwart Neji's plans. They would have made it in time, but they were outpunched. Kicked. When the smoke cleared, Naruto was standing in front of Hinata, staring at Neji.
How did Naruto get down there before all of the Junin?
Ino inquired, unable to believe Naruto's speed. He even beat the proctor and came the closest to stopping Neji. Shikamaru stated. Man, what a pain. I don't want to face him in the finals. But Shikamaru, with your shadow possession jutsu, you'd be able to catch him. When he's still in the haze? Choji inquired. No way, not at that speed. I don't know enough to come up with a counter-strategy. Shikamaru spoke up. Naruto returned to the arena and continued to stare at Neji. Neji stood up, slightly bleeding from the left nostril and lower lip. Neji returned Naruto's gaze, his Byakugan activated. Hinata had been taken to the hospital in the meantime. Why are you interfering in something that isn't your concern, you failure? Who are you to mess with people's heads? Your behavior was completely wrong. You're nothing more than a coward hiding behind the bogus excuses of destiny and fate. And, as much as I want to kick your $1 right now, I can wait until the championships. And you'd better hope you don't have to face me. Because you're going to get the beating of your life. Naruto returned to the balcony, but this time he kept his distance from everyone else in order to calm down. Rock Lee vs. Gaara and Choji vs. Dosu were the last two matches. Lee proved to be one of the most formidable Chunin Exams competitors, but he couldn't get past Gaara's sand defenses. Gaara crushed the bones in Lee's left arm and leg, adding to the injuries he had already caused with the inner gates. Choji charged Dosu with his human boulder jutsu, but lacked the necessary turning speed to hit Dosu. Choji was rendered unable to continue after only one attack from Dosu's sound-amplifying gauntlet. The Hokage and Junin were now in the path of the advancing 9 Genin, with the third Hokage telling them that in 1 month. The Genin then drew numbers from a box brought to them by Anko Mitarashi. The drawings were delivered as follows. Dosu Kinuta as number 8. Naruto Uzumaki as number 1. Sasuke Uchiha as number 4. Temari as number 7. Kankuro as number 5. 3. Gaara. Shikamaru Nara, no. 9. Shino Aburame as number 6. Neji Hyuga as number 2. Alright. Ibiki, please reveal the table. I requested the third Hokage. Ibiki turned the clipboard around so that all the Genin could see who their opponent was. Naruto Uzumaki vs. Neji Hyuga in the first match. Gaara vs. Sasuke Uchiha in round 2. Kankuro vs. Shino Aburame, match 3. Dosu Kinuta vs Shikamaru Nara, match 4. Match 5. TBD vs. Temari. The Genin were then removed from the competition until the final rounds. Hey, Kakashi-sensei, can you assist me in training my jutsu? Naruto inquired. I'm sorry, Naruto, but I'll be assisting Sasuke, Kakashi responded. What? Come on, why can't you help me, sensei? Yelled Naruto. Calm down, Naruto. I believe Gaara is a much more dangerous opponent than Neji. I believe you can beat Neji, but Gaara will kill Sasuke if he doesn't get my full attention. Besides, I've already assigned someone to train you while I train Sasuke. Kakashi explained. Are you sure? Who? It is I, Ebisu said as he approached them. Naruto and Ebisu had visited the hot springs. Ebisu told Naruto that he needed to practice chakra control. The water walking technique was the best place to start. Naruto had just finished perfecting the technique when he noticed someone laughing near the fence. "Hey!" yelled Naruto, pointing to an old man crouched down and peeping. "Are you looking there, old man?" Ebisu asked, adjusting his glasses. "I will not tolerate such despicable behavior." Ebisu charged at the old man, only to be knocked unconscious by a massive summoned toad's tongue.
Naruto yelled at the old man after confirming that his stand-in sensei had been knocked out cold. "Hey, you knocked out my stand-in sensei.
You need to take responsibility and train me in his place." "You're kidding, right?" "I don't have time to babysit little brats," the old man replied. "You mean, spying on those girls on the other side of that fence?" yelled Naruto. "Ah. No way. Why did you do that?" "Because you must accept responsibility for eliminating that closet pervert." "And why should I when you've mastered the water walking technique?" "Because I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and someday I'll be Hokage. This is Naruto. Brat's grown a lot since I last saw him. Chances are, his sensei is Kakashi, and I'll need to talk to him later. Who do you think you are to pass judgment on me, huh?" "Me? I'm Jiraiya, Toad Mountain Sage, of Mount Myoboku," exclaimed the old man, breaking into a silly dance. "What? This old pervert is my father's sensei and godfather? You've got to be kidding me." Naruto pulled out a smoke bomb and tossed it to the ground. "Why the hell did he do that? I guess he decided to give up once he realized who I am. Now it's time to Ge-Ba. Whoa. Wah." Jiraiya thought as he dodged the kunai thrown at him. He was on his ass and holding his face the next thing he knew. Jiraiya yelled once the smoke had cleared. "What the hell was that for you little?" "Huh?" Jiraiya noticed Naruto was no longer present. "Where did he go?" "Sigh, I'm not sure what that was about, but I have a feeling Kakashi might." Jiraiya then went in search of Kakashi. Naruto appeared inside his apartment after punching Jiraiya with the Flying Raijin Jutsu. "That son of a bitch. I'm his student's son, and he won't teach me?" Naruto inquired about Jiraiya the day after confronting the third Hokage and Kakashi. Kakashi informed him that he was not only the 4th's sensei, but also Naruto's godfather. Naruto didn't take it lightly, and he was upset with Jiraiya for not being present. And what Jiraiya said after hearing his name today only made matters worse. Naruto went to his squad's training ground to let off steam. Kakashi and Sasuke had arrived at a large training facility. There was no grass or trees on the terrain. There are only large tower-like rocks. "Alright, that's enough for today, Sasuke. You did well," Kakashi said. Sasuke replied before leaving to get something to eat. "Is there anything you need from me, Lord Jiraiya?" Kakashi inquired once Sasuke was out of sight and hearing range. "Actually, there is," Jiraiya said, leaping from his hiding spot and landing next to Kakashi. "I ran into Naruto earlier." "What's his story?" "You are, Sai." Jiraiya was perplexed by Kakashi's meaning. He found out about his parents a few weeks ago when he discovered letters left behind by those two. He was furious when he discovered that you, me, and Lord Hokage knew and never told him, but it's worse for you. He asked who you were, aside from his father's sensei. And you told him I'm his godfather. Is he still angry at you and sensei? Jiraiya inquired, omitting the fact that he pretended not to teach Naruto anything. Not nearly as much as he was when he found out, but the fact that you are his godfather and he has never seen you gives him the impression that you abandoned him, Kakashi explained. Kakashi gave him a look. Jiraiya was lost in thought. After that, Kakashi noticed some dried blood coming from Jiraiya's nose. Let me guess. You threw a smoke bomb and a kunai at me, and then you got hit in the face, right? Kakashi asked. He jerked away from his train of thought, surprised that Kakashi could figure out what had happened. How did you find out, Kakashi? Jiraiya inquired. Naruto mastered that jutsu about 2 years ago in November, Kakashi replied, smiling. Jiraiya pondered, trying to figure out which jutsu Kakashi was referring to. It suddenly occurred to him. Are you serious? He mastered Flying Raijin Jutsu. Yeah, his letters were with the scroll, but he missed them the first time, and it's been about 3 years now. Hey, isn't he not the brightest? No, but he did master one of the world's most powerful jutsu. What are you going to do about him? I'll make it up to him in some way, but it's best to wait until tomorrow so he can calm down a little, Jiraiya said. Naruto was back at the training grounds the next morning. Naruto was practicing his wind style jutsu when he heard a voice. You know, there's an easier way, Jiraiya said as he walked onto the training grounds. Fuck off. You perverted bastard, Naruto said calmly and collectedly. Sigh asterisk, look, I talked to Kakashi. He said you knew everything. He said you felt abandoned, and I don't blame you. Once I heard your name, I knew who you were. I only pretended not to be interested in training you. I want to make it up to you, no matter how long it takes, Jiraiya explained. Scoff asterisk, yeah, right. And I don't have the 9 tails sealed away in my gut, Naruto said, not understanding what he meant. I'm serious. Bring your shadow clones with you during your wind style training, and any knowledge they gain will be transferred to you once they disperse, which will help you master wind style much faster. Naruto turned around with a skeptical expression on his face. Show me. Shadow cloning jutsu. You make one now. Shadow cloning jutsu. Now what? Naruto wondered. Our shadow clones will now go into the woods, and whatever happens there will be revealed to you once your clone disperses, Jiraiya replied. The clones dispersed a minute later. Looks like you own me ramen, Naruto observed. Damn. Yay. You believe me now? Jiraiya inquired. I suppose, but I still don't forgive you. I thought so, too. It was around 3 a.m., and Naruto was in Hinata's hospital room. Naruto was unsure how Kurenai would react to him following the events of the preliminaries. Naruto, in reality, blamed himself for what had happened to Hinata. Hinata started to move. It wasn't long before she opened her eyes and saw Naruto for the first time. Naruto? W. What are you doing here? Hinata exclaimed. I'm sorry, I would have been here last night, but something came up, Naruto said. However, why are you here now? I didn't want to come here during the day, because your sensei probably hates me for what happened. I'm really sorry, Hinata. I didn't think you'd get this injured. I'm really sorry, Hinata, Naruto said, tears welling up in his eyes. It wasn't your fault, Naruto. I chose to keep fighting, and you just gave me the courage to do so. And Kurenai's sensei is upset, but she doesn't hate you. She's glad you give me such confidence. Yeah, but you could have died, and I kinda hate myself for forcing you to keep fighting. It's okay if you blame me as well, Hinata. No. You shouldn't hate yourself. Just because you gave me the confidence to keep going doesn't make it your fault. I don't blame you, Naruto, and I never will." Naruto fell silent. He was at a loss for words. He knew Hinata was correct, but he blamed himself. I don't know what to think, Hinata. I mean, you've got a point, but I can't help but blame myself. I forced my girlfriend to take the Chunin exams, and if I hadn't, then... Naruto, stop. Stop bamming yourself. Yes, you gave me confidence to take the exams. Yes, you gave me confidence for the second stage. And yes, you gave me confidence to fight my cousin who was much stronger, but it was all my choice. I had the choice to do all those things. I didn't have to take the exams. It wasn't just you, Naruto, it was the both of us. If you want to blame yourself, then blame me as well. Naruto couldn't take his gaze off Hinata. Something about her eyes captivated him. He was stunned after processing everything she said. She told him he should blame himself for what happened. He simply couldn't do it. I can't do it, Hinata, and I don't blame you one bit. Then what makes you think I can blame you? I don't blame myself for my choices, and you shouldn't either. I suppose you're right, but I still feel bad about what happened. It'll go away. If it means that much to you, then I forgive you, Hinata comforted him. Really? Naruto inquired. Yes. Even though Naruto felt guilty, he couldn't help but be relieved that Hinata had forgiven him. So he did something he hadn't done before. He gently took Hinata's face in his hands and kissed her on the lips. Hinata was taken aback. It was so unexpected. She kissed him back as she recovered from her shock. They finally parted, blushing like ripe tomatoes. Why? You kissed me on the lips? Why? Hinata inquired, her full-fledged stutter returning. I couldn't help myself. I was just so happy that you forgave me. I'm sorry, Naruto responded. No, I'm not. Huh? I'm not sorry. That why you kissed me, Hinata said, a small smile on her face. The smile only made Naruto's heart beat faster. Hee. I guess I shouldn't be sorry for that either, huh? Naruto said, also smiling. Hinata simply shook her head, knowing that he didn't feel bad about kissing her. Hinata inquired about something. You mentioned something came up yesterday, what was it? Naruto's smile faded. My godfather is inside the village, Naruto explained to Hinata about his Jiraiya and his feelings for him. Why? You mean Lord Jiraiya? Why did he show up? Hinata inquired. I don't know, and I don't care. He knows I know, thanks to Kakashi-sensei, but I just can't forgive him that easily. Naruto replied. But he does want to make it up to me. He gave me some tips to master my wind style faster, and it seems to be working so far. I see. It's the least he can do. Besides, I'm sure he had his reasons for doing what he did, but it's great that he wants to make things right with you. I know, but that doesn't excuse him from not being there. I know. But he's trying. They talked until an hour before dawn, when Naruto had to leave for training. However, before leaving, Naruto gave Hinata another kiss on the lips. The day of the finals had arrived. Except for Dosu, the contestants were all in the middle of the stadium. A ninja in a standard Chunin outfit with a bandana-style headband and a senbon in his mouth eventually approached the contestants. I'm Genma Shiranui, and I'll be your proctor for the final stage. The rules are the same as they were in the preliminary stage. The fight continues until one of you is out cold or admits defeat. Killing is frowned upon, but not forbidden. I might step in if the situation calls for it, but don't count on it. Genma explained, holding up the new matchup table. The only difference was that Shikamaru was now fighting Temari, while Dosu had left for unknown reasons. Now, Naruto Uzumaki and Neji Hyuga, stay here, and the rest of you go up to the contestant booth and wait for your turn to fight, Genma instructed. Except for those who were told to stay, everyone left the stadium floor. Watch out, Hanabi. Neji has a more powerful Byakugan than your sisters, possibly more powerful than yours, Hiyashi Hyuga warned. Psi**, is that true, father? Hanabi inquired. Yes, the boy is doomed against Neji. So Naruto's going up against Neji, huh? Do you think he'll keep his word and win? Asuma inquired. You're forgetting how fast Naruto can move. It'll be difficult, but I believe Naruto can win, Kurenai responded. You have a valid point. Naruto versus Neji, huh? Ino inquired. Yeah, Sakura said. What is Naruto's secret? How does he move so quickly? I have no idea. Oh, come on, Sakura. There's no way Naruto improved that quickly, just like there's no way you don't know how he moves that fast. I mean, you're teammates, you have to know, Ino said, not believing Sakura's ignorance for a second. I don't know, Ino. I really don't. All I know is that he managed to get that fast, but that doesn't mean I know how, Sakura responded, irritated that she agreed to keep Naruto's secret. Psi**, fine, I'll drop it for the time being. Are you two ready?
Genma inquired.
Wait a second, Naruto said. What's your beef with Hinata? Naruto inquired. Because of Hinata, he already knew the answer, but he needed to keep up appearances. That's none of your concern, Neji replied. Perhaps, but I'm still curious. Fine. If you really want to know, I'll tell you about the Hyuga clan's destiny of hatred, Neji continued, explaining why he despised the main house. He described Hinata's kidnapping attempt from the hidden cloud. How his father was sacrificed in place of Hinata's father for killing the cloud's head ninja. The true assassin of the hidden cloud ninja. Even the caged bird seal is mentioned. So you hate Hinata the most because she couldn't fight off a Chunin at 3 years old? So you could have done that? You're a fucking idiot. So what, your dad was killed. There are people out there who've suffered a lot more, and a lot worse than you have. Naruto said, irritated by Neji's apathy. Like you'd know? You have no idea what it's like to have a mark that distinguishes you from everyone else. Naruto took a look at the ground. He imagined himself alone, being stared at by all the villagers. Oh yeah, I know how that is, Naruto said, looking up at Neji. So what? I'm still going to kick your sorry ass. I'm ready. I'm the same way, and I'll show you that you can't fight destiny. Begin! Exclaimed Genma. Naruto threw 3 kunai at Neji and then began making hand signs. Wind style. Outstanding breakthrough jutsu. Naruto exclaimed. Neji was blown back by the jutsu, landing on his back. However, Neji quickly rolled back to his feet. Asuma's cigarette had dropped from his mouth. Since when is Naruto allowed to use wind style? I have no idea. Kurenai replied, thought, is this his secret? No, he'd hide it with smoke bombs. It's his speed that's the mystery. Wind style. Naruto can use wind style. Ino was taken aback by what she saw. Since when is he allowed to use wind style? Sakura responded, he started training for it a few weeks before the Chunin exams. Sakura didn't want to tell Ino she could use lightning style. Sakura learned one lightning style jutsu, but Kakashi warned her not to use it against a leaf comrade. During the Third Great Ninja War, Kakashi claimed to have learned that jutsu from a hidden cloud ninja. What? That jerk. He's been holding back on me, more than I thought. What else can that loser do? Kiba, sitting next to Hinata, asked. At the very least, I'm sitting next to Hinata. I don't know, K. Kiba, Hinata lied. Let's just hope Naruto keeps this up. Or he'll perish. Nobody said you couldn't use wind style. When did you discover this? Neji inquired. Prior to the Chunin exams. Nobody said anything because everyone who knew was on my side, Naruto responded without mentioning that Hinata was also aware of it. No matter, I'll still win this, Neji charged in, this time wary of Naruto's long-range jutsu. Naruto pulled out two kunai and focused his chakra in them, and Neji came to a halt. Nice try, but I'm not going to charge in recklessly just so you can cut me with your wind style chakra. I'm not a moron like you. Evidently, you are not. Not over yet. Naruto yelled, focusing even more chakra into the kunai, resulting in a large chakra blade extending to about 10 feet. Naruto swung one of his kunai, forcing Neji to jump up high to avoid being cut in half. Naruto swung his other kunai at Neji, yelling. HMPF, nice try. Rotation. A large sphere of chakra encircled Neji, causing the two chakras to repel each other. Neji landed on the ground, waiting for Naruto's next attack. Do you see what I mean? Even with your long-range jutsu, you can't reach me. It's your fate to lose to me, Neji said with a confident grin. You can't even touch me with your long-range jutsu, huh? You truly are a moron. Did you forget you got knocked on the ass when the match started? Naruto mocked. Neji's grin had faded, that was just a coincidence. Nothing else. Even if it was a fluke, it still happened. But when I kick your ass, knocking you down 10 pegs won't be a fluke. Try it, Neji suggested, his smirk returning. Naruto noticed that Naruto had Neji standing near the tree that had his kunai lodged in it. Time to finish this, Naruto said, putting away one of his kunai and pulling out most of his smoke bombs, consuming everything in smoke. Why would he do such a thing, father? The Byakugan has the ability to see through smoke, Hanabi inquired. Hanabi, I doubt he knows. He had the lowest grade point average in the academy, Hiyashi responded. I see. But why would Hinata be interested in someone who isn't intelligent? Most of the Hyuga clan was aware of Hinata's crush on Naruto and had warned her to stay away from him. However, before Hinata took the Chunin exam, Hanabi and her father noticed that Hinata appeared more confident, but they didn't know why. Sakura, why does he do that right before he uses his speed? Ino inquired. I'm not sure, Ino. Now keep quiet. I'm curious to see what happens next, Sakura responded by avoiding the subject. Not that there's much to see. Neji could see Naruto clearly, as if the smoke didn't exist, until Naruto vanished. What the hell? Neji then saw Naruto reappear as soon as he disappeared, but he couldn't react. Naruto quickly grabbed Neji's wrist, and kicked him as hard as he could. This process repeated, varying from punches and kicks. The smoke started to die down, so Naruto had to end it. So Naruto threw Neji high into the air. He then threw another smoke bomb at Neji, and the Flying Raijin barrage of Naruto Uzumaki. How did he manage that? He kept disappearing and reappearing all at once. How is that even possible? Hanabi deactivated her Byakugan, having had her Byakugan active, unlike her father. What exactly is it, Hanabi? Hiyashi inquired, oblivious to the fact that her Byakugan was always active. Father, how did he do that? Hanabi inquired. I'm not sure. But that's beside the point right now. I'm more concerned with Neji's hatred for the main house. Lord Hokage, how did he do that? Inquired the Kazekage. I'm not sure. He's not the brightest, but he's very talented, the third Hokage replied, lying to conceal Naruto's jutsu. That was very impressive, Naruto, hiding a jutsu like that in front of so many people. Well done. Neji landed hard on the ground, knocking the wind out of him. I can't move. How did you do that? Neji inquired. Naruto landed just a few feet away from Neji. Don't you have anything else to worry about? Like how your self-predicted destiny was wrong. I failed the graduation exams 3 times, and it was the clone jutsu every time. I just thought you should know that, before you keep spouting that destiny shit, said Naruto. The winner is Naruto Uzumaki, Genma declared as the match came to an end. The stunned audience applauded the stunning upset. The medical ninja arrived and took Neji away to ensure he had no serious injuries. How did he do it? Ino wondered. Because he's too stupid to quit. Otherwise, how do you think he'll win? Sakura replied, avoiding the real reason. Of course, she thinks Naruto is stupid. You're right about that. The battlefield was now devoid of all but Genma. Alright, one of our participants hasn't arrived yet, so we'll move on to the next match. Kankuro and Shino Aburame, please come down here. Shino was about to go down when he heard something. Kankuro yelled, Proctor, I forfeit. TST. Shino Aburame wins by forfeit. The next match is Tamari of the Sand vs Shikamaru Nara, Genma announced. Great, my opponent is a girl yet again. Perhaps I should forfeit as well, Shikamaru said. Get your ass down there, Shikamaru. Naruto yelled, shoving Shikamaru over the rail. Shikamaru touched down with a asterisk thud. Damn Naruto, did he really need to do that? Shikamaru thought as he saw Tamari charge at him, fan drawn and ready to strike. Ah, what a pain. Shikamaru deflected the attack, and the cat and mouse game began. The two went back and forth, taking advantage of each other. Shikamaru eventually caught up with her near the trees on the other side of the field. Tamari was so preoccupied with her opponent's shadow that she missed what happened next. Wait. What happened? Tamari inquired. Shikamaru replied, look behind you, I'll let you. Tamari noticed a shadow coming from behind her that was connected to her own. That's right, I distracted you with the shadow in front of you, and then I sent another around and behind you, so you're now at my mercy, Shikamaru explained. Tamari was concerned about what Shikamaru would force her to do. But she couldn't help but be impressed. She assumed he was just a slacker. But this fight had shown her otherwise. I give up, Shikamaru declared. What? Tamari exclaimed, unsure if she had heard correctly. I don't have much chakra left, and I can't really make you do anything right now, and going to the next round means I'll have to fight again, which is a drag. Tamari of the Sand is the winner. The crowd was stunned that someone would simply give up when they had won. Sasuke had finally arrived. Only this time, he wore a one-piece black suit with the Uchiha clan symbol on his back. His right arm was bandaged and had snap straps above the bandages. His hair was also a little longer. Sasuke and Gaara were now facing each other, ready to fight. There's no need to ask if either of you is ready. Just start, said Genma. Sasuke charged in, ready to punch. Gaara's sand created a barrier between him and his attacker. Sasuke had anticipated this and decided not to hold back. Sasuke vanished, just as Lee did during his fight with Gaara. Gaara would have taken a beating if it hadn't been for his sand armor. Sasuke had quickly demonstrated that Gaara's sand shield was useless against him. Gaara didn't want to risk getting hurt, so he built a sand dome around himself. His only connection to the outside world is a sand eye. Sasuke attempted to pass through the dome, but it was as solid as rock. Fine, stay in there. I could use the time to prepare, Sasuke said, unsnapping one of his arm's snaps. Sasuke made a series of hand gestures as he jumped back onto the far wall. When he held his hand out in front of him, lightning-style chakra appeared in the palm of his hand. Isn't that lightning-style? Sakura exclaimed. Yeah, specifically a jutsu I created, Kakashi replied. What is the jutsu called, sensei? Sakura inquired. It's called Chidori, or lightning blade, because Kakashi once used it to cut a lightning bolt in half before it hit the ground, Guy replied. Really? Sakura inquired. How come you didn't teach me that jutsu, Kakashi-sensei? Just because you're a lightning type doesn't mean you can master this jutsu. The Sharingan is essential to this jutsu. Without it, you won't be able to see your opponent's counter, and you lack the speed required to perform this jutsu. I see. Wait, you're a lightning type like Sasuke? Why didn't you use any lightning-style jutsu against me, Sakura? Ino inquired. Sakura explained. Kakashi-sensei said it's lethal, and I should never use it against a leaf comrade. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Sasuke had finally prepared his jutsu. He charged at Gaara, dragging the jutsu across the ground and creating a small trench. The dome began to retaliate, sprouting spikes to pierce through Sasuke. He could, however, weave around it with Sasuke's Sharingan. As a result, Sasuke's Chidori pierced Gaara's sand dome. Wah! What is this? It's so warm and wet, Gaara exclaimed. He felt a shooting pain in his shoulder and realized what had happened. Gaara, who had never felt pain before, began to panic. Blood. It's my blood. Sasuke tried to pull his arm out, but something seemed to be holding it. Sasuke directed his lightning chakra at his entrapped hand, causing whatever was holding it to release it. Sasuke jumped back to gain some distance once he was free. Sasuke noticed a strange eye through the hole he made, but it vanished as quickly as it appeared. The dome eventually cracked and disintegrated. Boom. Naruto was currently perched atop tree branches across from Gaara's monstrous form. Naruto recalled his and Shikamaru's encounter with Gaara in the hospital. Gaara had attempted to assassinate Lee. There would have been a fight if Guy hadn't intervened. Naruto was surprised to learn that he and Gaara had similar backgrounds. The only difference is that Gaara was alone for a much longer period of time. Man, Sasuke is in bad shape. This is going to be difficult because I forgot to bring my kunai from the stadium. Oh, no. I would have prepared more kunai with my seal if I had known this was going to happen. I'm going to have to make every step count. Naruto was frustrated by the situation. Get the hell out of my way. Gaara yelled, charging straight at Sasuke. Naruto reacted immediately by jumping up and twisting his body 360 degrees, giving him enough momentum to deliver a sideward bicycle kick to Gaara's face. This is a spectacular soccer kick. Gaara rose from the same spot he had just left. Naruto had kicked Gaara in the face for the second time. Gaara glared at Naruto, knowing that he couldn't get to Sasuke without first passing through Naruto. Sakura, grab Sasuke and flee. Gaara will be taken care of by me. Without turning around, Naruto yelled. Okay. Give him a whack for attacking my Sasuke. Sakura said as she picked up Sasuke. You have it. Naruto responded. You have to go through me if you want them. So go for it, use anti-psychotic fuck. Shadow clone jutsu. Says one. Naruto screamed. Ah. Naruto Uzumaki, perish. As he charged towards Naruto, Gaara yelled. Naruto leapt to his feet, avoiding Gaara's transformed arm. Wind style. Outstanding breakthrough jutsu. The jutsu struck Gaara in the back, causing him to break through the branch Naruto had just stood on. Gaara landed about 20 feet below the branch he had just crashed through. When he looked up, he noticed Naruto smirking at him. Naruto began making new hand gestures. Wind Blades Jutsu. Gaara jumped away, attempting to avoid Naruto's jutsu. Unfortunately, Gaara's tail was cut in half, with the remaining portion turning to sand. UUUAAAAAHH. I'm going to kill you. Wind style. Sandstorm detour. Gaara screamed. A sandstorm blew towards Naruto, breaking off branches along the way, as the jutsu's name suggests. Naruto prepared to dodge when he noticed mouths open all over Gaara's body. When the jutsu appeared, Naruto dodged it by hiding behind a tree. Naruto jumped out the other side and threw a kunai with a smoke bomb at Gaara. Naruto practiced his new jutsu while hiding behind another tree. Gaara used his arm to block the kunai just as the smoke bomb went off. Gaara was blinded by the smoke and missed Naruto's sudden appearance with a blue orb of chakra in his hand. Rasengan. Naruto rammed the jutsu into Gaara's stomach, spinning him around and crashing into the ground. But not before touching Gaara's right shoulder. No way. He's crushing Gaara. He's actually outperforming Gaara. How on earth is that even possible? But Gaara hasn't even allowed that thing to take control. But I had to give it to him. Nobody has ever pushed Gaara this far before. Temari was astounded that anyone could push Gaara so far. Gaara was thought to be lying within his 3 feet deep hole. This is not possible. This cannot be right. I'm not going to lose to a guy like him. Gaara screamed. A massive pillar of sand erupted above the trees. The same way Gaara's temper did. Naruto found himself staring up at a 150-meter tall tanuki made of sand with blue markings all over. Oh my god. Naruto realized how much more difficult everything had become. Oh no. He's going to give that thing complete control. I've got to get out of here. Temari considered her options, looking around for the best way out of the area. Gaara raised his hands and made one hand sign. Practice possum jutsu. Gaara's arms went limp after the jutsu was activated. Yaha. Finally, I'm free. Allow me to murder something. Shukaku screamed. Shit. Only one thing remains to be done. It's a good thing I had my shadow clones working on multiple jutsu at the same time. Even if I did suffer from severe headaches. Naruto said this while biting his thumb. Jutsu summoning. Naruto stood atop a giant toad about the size of a shukaku with a huge poof. Are you back? What do you desire? Gamabunta, the chief toad, inquired. Hello, boss. Would you like to fight alongside me today? Naruto inquired. Shukaku decided to make Gamabunta's decision for him before he could respond. Air bullet. Wind style. Gamabunta jumped to avoid the attack. Why, you cunning, oversized sand rat. Gamabunta yelled, repairing his own attack. Aqua bullet. Water style. Gamabunta yelled and launched 2 large orbs of water. Air bullet. Wind style. Shukao yelled, launching 3 large orbs of air. The jutsus cancelled each other out, but the third air bullet did not. Gamabunta was hit in the face by the final air bullet, knocking him to the ground with a thunderous crash. That was painful. You'll have to pay for it. Okay, Naruto. I need you to smack him across the face.
That should jolt that kid awake and put him in command.
Then he'll be easier to defeat. Otherwise, he'll only grow stronger," said Gamabunta as he dodged and countered Shukaku's attacks. "That's correct, but we need to get a good grip on him," Naruto responded. "Then we'll simply perform a combined transformation. Consider a creature with fangs and claws," Gamabunta responded. Tamari couldn't believe what he was witnessing. She couldn't see Naruto or Gaara because of the distance she had gained. Can that kid conjure something like that? How is that even possible? That kid is not on the level of Genin. What exactly is he? Meanwhile, Sakura and Sasuke were almost to the village. Sakura came to a halt on top of a large tree after sensing a large pulse of chakra. "What's going on over there?" gasped Sakura inquired, seeing a large tanuki and an equally sized toad fighting. "I believe Naruto summoned the toad," Sasuke stated. "What? When was the last time Naruto used a summoning jutsu?" Sakura inquired. "He must have picked it up during his month off. But the question is, where did he get it?" Sasuke inquired. "I'm not sure," Sakura responded. From where they were, Sasuke insisted on watching the rest of the battle, so that if Naruto were to fail, they could alert the village to the danger. They were startled to see a large poof of smoke. The 9-tailed fox emerged from the smoke. "What on earth is that?" Sakura yelled. "It's called a transformation jutsu." Naruto morphed into the 9 tails. "It must be for some purpose," Sasuke elaborated. Naruto and Gamabunta clung to Shukaku, biting him in the left shoulder and clawing at his arms. "This is your chance, kid." "Right," Naruto responded. Using the Flying Raijin Jutsu and dropping a smoke bomb, Naruto vanished from Gamabunta's mind, dispelling the jutsu, before reappearing on Shukaku's right shoulder. Naruto capitalized on the situation by leaping towards Gaara's exposed upper body. "Wake the fuck up, shithead!" Naruto screamed and punched Gaara in the face. "No. Hey, I just got here!" Shukaku screamed. Why not you? I'm going to kill you!" Gaara yelled, enraged that he had been awakened. Gaara began to manipulate the sand, wrapping it around Naruto's ankles. Naruto needed to act quickly or he would be squashed. He pulled out his last kunai, which was equipped with a smoke bomb. Gaara was certain Naruto couldn't move, so he simply blocked the kunai and let the smoke bomb go off. Naruto simply smirked, knowing that Gaara would believe he had him imprisoned for good. Naruto took advantage of this by inventing the Rasengan. Naruto reappeared and rammed the jutsu into Gaara's stomach once more. The massive sand creature began to crack. Soon, all of the sand crumbled, causing Naruto and Gaara to fall. Gaara shot straight to the ground because Naruto's jutsu was still being rammed into her gut. Naruto had landed on a tree's branch. "It appears that you obtained this from here. I'm going to leave." "Okay, thanks a lot, Chief," Naruto responded. Gamabunta was left with a massive poof. Naruto had jumped from branch to branch before landing on the ground 20 feet away from Gaara. Gaara's body ached. It hurt so much that all he could do was turn his head in the direction he heard Naruto land. Gaara's eyes widened as he noticed Naruto making his way towards him. Isn't it painful? Being isolated. I know because we're identical. Naruto said, causing Gaara's eyes to widen even more. Why? Why would you go to such lengths for anyone other than yourself? Gaara inquired, his voice panicked. They rescued me from myself. I was all alone until Iruka-sensei appeared. Kakashi-sensei and my teammates arrived soon after. But first, someone very special to me arrived. She was the first person I felt I could trust. They rescued me and gave me a reason to live. And if anyone threatens them, I will intervene. Even if it means killing them. While Gaara was speaking, Naruto came to a halt 5 feet away. Temari and Kankuro both jumped down next to Gaara after he finished speaking. They both appeared to be prepared to fight. When Gaara spoke up, all three appeared to be about to start a fight. That is all. Let's get started. Temari kept her gaze fixed on Naruto, while Kankuro cast a glance behind him at Gaara. I still can't believe it. He's completely spent. Alright. Kankuro said as he turned around to pick up Gaara. The 3 sand genin then turned and walked away from the Leaf Village. That was difficult. With the summoning jutsu. That fight nearly took all of my chakra. Naruto stated. Naruto turned around and returned to the village. Gaara was reflecting on what Naruto had told him. He couldn't argue with what was said because he was fighting for opposing reasons. Nonetheless, he lost, believing that his reasoning was correct. Gaara decided to do things Naruto's way, beginning with his siblings. Temari, Kankuro. I apologize. Gaara's siblings were taken aback when he abruptly apologized. Kankuro was the one who finally responded. No worries. What the hell did that kid do to Gaara? Gaara has been appointed? It's got to be something to do with that blonde kid. Temari pondered. A few days later, the entire village turned out for a funeral. The funeral was held not only for the 3rd Hokage, but for all those who died defending the village from the sound invasion. Naruto was heartbroken that his grandfather figure had died while defending the village from Orochimaru. Looking over, he noticed Konohamaru crying and Iruka comforting him. Sensei Iruka. What motivates them to do so? Why do people put their lives in danger to protect others? Naruto inquired. He knew why, but he didn't want Konohamaru to know. Well. When someone dies, all earthly ties are severed. However, all emotional baggage remains. Everyone in the village is family, even if they are not blood relatives. You would do anything to protect the ones you love in order to protect the bonds you share with others. Everyone who died defending the village against the attack is a hero. Iruka elaborated. It's been 2 days. Hinata and Naruto were wrapping up their date in the same manner as before. On top of the Hokage monument. They sat next to each other, holding each other's hands, unaware of the pair of eyes lingering behind them in the trees. Naruto, how are you holding up? You know, with the death of the 3rd Hokage? Hinata inquired. Okay, I guess. I just never imagined he'd die. He appeared to be very strong, even for his age. Naruto responded with sadness in his voice. I know. But he also did it to protect you. He was concerned about both you and the village. Hinata comforted Naruto with her words. I know. Thank you, Hinata. Naruto responded by leaning in closer to Hinata. Thank you, Ru. 2. They closed the gap between themselves, eventually locking lips. The figure in the trees couldn't believe what they were seeing. Seeing the most unlikely couple kissing each other. The figure had been following the two for the entire date. They were perplexed as to why they were subjected to a transformation jutsu. It all made sense now. The Hyuga heiress and village pariah dating explained Hinata's slight boost in confidence. But looking at what's in front of them reveals that there was more to it than meets the eye. At least until now. The figure jumped out to confront the two after seeing enough. Stop. Please explain why you're sneaking around like this. The figure screamed. Hinata gasped when she turned around and recognized the figure. What exactly are you doing here? Hinata inquired. Who the hell are you, Hinata? Naruto inquired. Both were terrified of what this meant for their secret relationship. Hanabi? What exactly are you doing here? Hinata inquired. Hanabi responded, I could say the same thing. Wait, Hanabi? Hanabi, as in your younger sister? Is this your younger sister? Naruto inquired, surprised to be meeting his girlfriend's sister in this manner. Hey. Who are you referring to as a little brat? I am a Hyuga clan member. Hanabi yelled, enraged at being called a brat. What kind of person does this kid believe he is? No one has ever called me a brat. Disrespectful jerk. Hanabi pondered. Who do you think I'm referring to when I say, little brat? And I know who you are because Hinata told me everything about you and your clan. And I don't care if you're a clan member or not. I'll call you a brat if you act like one. Naruto responded. Okay, fine. But I'm curious as to why you two are sneaking around. Hanabi insisted. I have no idea what you're talking about. Hinata stutters. Fine. If you don't tell me, I'll tell your father. Hanabi then turned and began running toward the Hyuga compound. Naruto, on the other hand, had other plans. Naruto hurled a kunai at Hanabi. The kunai flew right over Hanabi's head. Hanabi turned around to look for the person who had thrown the kunai, but she didn't see Naruto. Hanabi's mouth was suddenly covered by a hand, and her arms were held tightly to her sides by an orange-clad arm. HMPF. Says one. Hanabi screamed. Or at least attempted to. Lol. Hanabi, pay attention. Already, calm down. Naruto screamed. Hanabi obeyed, knowing what Naruto could do from this vantage point. Okay, now pay attention. I'll tell you why we're sneaking around if you promise not to tell anyone else. Alright? Hum. Huh? What was it? Naruto inquired, removing his hand to better understand what Hanabi was saying. On one condition, I said. Hanabi responded. What is that? You must tell me how you abused my cousin, Neji. I'm sorry, but you'll find out later, if I trust you enough to tell you. Do you have enough faith in her? Hanabi inquired about Hinata. She discovered it, somehow. But she didn't tell anyone until she discussed it with me first. That made me trust her a little more. Naruto responded, gradually becoming irritated with the little girl. What? I'm her younger sister. Tell me, or I'll inform my father. Hanabi began, but Naruto cut him off. I said, first I need to trust you. Naruto yelled, effectively silenced her. Listen. The option is still available. Please simply accept it. I'll tell you how I beat Neji if you gain my trust. Deal? Naruto inquired. Hanabi considered it for a moment before asking. And what if I disagree? What happens next? Sigh asterisk, look. Your sister makes me very happy, and I hope I make her happy as well. Correct, Hinata? Naruto responded. Of course, Naruto, you make me happy. You should never have to second guess that. Hinata said with a smile on her face. Hanabi noticed Hinata's genuine smile and smiled back. She then turned to face Naruto. She couldn't get a good look at him because of the angle, but she could tell he was smiling as well. Hanabi lowered his gaze and reluctantly agreed. Fine. It's a done deal. But please tell me the truth and let me go. Naruto let Hanabi go and began explaining as soon as she turned around without fleeing. Sigh asterisk, Hinata has had feelings for me for a long time. And that part one was already aware of. The entire Hyuga clan was aware. I'm curious as to why you two are sneaking around. Hanabi stepped in. I was getting there. Sheesh. Anyway, it appears that I have finally noticed Hinata. I got to know her and began to like her. I wasn't sure if she liked me back, so I didn't ask her out right away. It wasn't until my first C-ranked mission, which turned A-ranked, that one of my teammates nearly died. It made me realize how short life can be. So I decided to approach Hinata and ask her out. Even if she didn't like me, I knew I gave it my all. She actually liked me, and we've been dating ever since. That's all there is to it. Naruto elaborated. That explains why you're leaving. But not why you're sneaking around, trying to keep it hidden. Hanabi informed him that she was dissatisfied. It's because most of the people in the village dislike him. They, like the Hyuga clan, would not accept our relationship. Everyone will accept our relationship once they recognize Naruto. But, for the time being, we're acting as if I'm still too shy to talk to him and he's unconcerned about my feelings. That's not how we prefer to do things, but it's the only way. For the time being, anyway. Hinata elaborated. Hanabi considered everything she had just heard. As much as she wanted to argue with what they were saying, she realized there was nothing to argue about. But then she wondered if her dislike for Naruto was related to his parents. What about your parents, though? What were their names? Are they the reason why everyone dislikes you? Hanabi inquired. Naruto lowered his gaze. Because he didn't trust Hanabi with that information, he had to lie and hope she believed him. I'm not sure. The third Hokage promised to find out, but died before he could. All I know is that I was discovered in the forest, alone outside the Leaf Village. There was only a note with the name, Naruto, on it. Didn't anyone at least adopt you? Hanabi inquired. No one even recognizes my existence. That is why I began pranking people. I didn't care what kind of recognition I received as long as I received some. Naruto responded. Hanabi looked down, a sad expression on her face. She had an entire clan, so she had no idea what it was like to be alone. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. Hanabi stated. It's okay. I guess it's all water under the bridge now, Naruto responded. The three made their way off the Hokage monument and parted ways. But not before Naruto kissed Hinata on the lips one last time before heading to Ichiraku's for ramen. Hinata was accompanying Hanabi home. Hinata would spend the night at her sensei's house whenever Hinata and Naruto went on a date. Hinata didn't mean to impose, but her sensei wanted to assist her in concealing her relationship with Naruto. Hanabi was intrigued by something, and just thinking about it made her blush. Sister? Hanabi inquired. Huh? What exactly is it, Hanabi? Hinata inquired, perplexed as to why her sister was blushing. How does it feel to have your lips kissed? Hanabi inquired, his voice slightly stuttering. WH. Why? A. Do you want to date a B? Boy? No, I saw. You know what I mean. And I was simply curious. Oh. It certainly felt good. It's difficult to explain. I mean, when I'm with you, my heart flutters uncontrollably. However, in a good way. I'm sorry I can't be of more assistance. Hinata elaborated. It's okay. So, I'll see you later. Good evening. When the two were a short distance from the Hyuga compound, Hanabi said. Good evening, Hanabi. Hinata responded before turning around and walking back to her sensei's apartment. How did it go? Kurenai inquired each time Hinata shut the door behind her after her date. It was excellent. Except Hanabi figured us out. Hinata responded. What? Did she inform your father? No. We struck a deal with her. A deal? Kurenai inquired, intrigued. She wanted to know why we were sneaking around and threatened to tell our father if we didn't tell her. So we told her about Naruto's disdain among the villagers and how no one knew who his parents were. Hinata elaborated. Didn't you tell her about the 9 tails? No. She inquired as to whether Naruto's dislike was due to his parents. Naruto informed her that no one knew and that the third Hokage was attempting to find out and inform him, but he died before he could. I see. Did she end it there? Kurenai inquired, knowing that if it were her, she would have continued to inquire. She did, after all, want to know how Naruto defeated Neji. But we explained that Naruto needed to trust her first. Hinata responded. I see, talking about trust. Sigh. Huh, what? Kurenai inquired. Sensei Kurenai, you already know I trust you, but this isn't about me trusting you. It's all about Naruto believing in you. I have no doubt that you believe me, Hinata. Naruto hasn't trusted me enough to keep his secrets for nearly 2 months. Despite the fact that I've been assisting you two in keeping your relationship a secret. I know I shouldn't have been as nosy as I have been. Is it just that my curiosity is getting the best of me? Kurenai elaborated. I understand, Sensei. I'll discuss it with Naruto and see what he thinks. Alright? Yes. Thank you very much, Hinata.
So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more awesome stories like this. Thank you. See you all in my next video.